All right. Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive in. Today, we're heading to Bangalore, India.
Awesome. Love Bangalore.
Yeah, such a cool city, that blend of history and modern design. It's electric. And you know what else? We're going behind the scenes with ongrid.design.
Oh, nice. They're doing some really innovative stuff.
For real. Oh, it's sustainable, too. It's not just about looking good. It's about being good.
Absolutely. That's where design is going. Definitely.
Exactly. So we're digging into one of their case studies, innovative home interior and elevation design, a Bangalore success story. It just grabbed me. It's like, how do you capture the spirit of Bangalore in a home?
It's a challenge for sure. Bangalore's design scene is something else. It's got its own vibe, blending those traditional influences with the cutting edge. It's fascinating.
Totally. And get this, the client, Mr. Manish Kumar, wanted it all. Modern design, but with that Bangalore soul. Open spaces, sustainability, the works.
Wow, talk about a dream project. That's something you see more and more these days. People want a home that reflects who they are, their values.
Right. And it's not always easy to merge those things, like open spaces, A&D, eco-conscious design. How do you even start?
Well, OnGrid, they've got this process right. It all starts with really getting to know the client, like deeply.
Okay, so it's not just about picking out swatches and samples.
No way. They do these in-depth interviews, really digging into how the client lives, their routines, even how their family interacts.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
It makes a difference. They want to design a home, not just a house, if you get me.
That's huge. It's like you wouldn't believe how much stuff I had to get rid of when I finally organized my closet. You have to know what you're working with, right?
Exactly. And OnGrid, they take it even further. Mood boards, design mock-ups. They're not just throwing ideas around, they're making sure the client is part of the journey.
Smart. But Bangalore's climate, that's no joke, right?
Yeah.
How do they design for that?
It's huge. That's where those site visits come in. It's not just about scoping out the view. They're analyzing sunlight, wind patterns, everything.
So they're working with the environment, not against it.
Exactly. It's about making the home flow naturally with its surroundings.
Okay, but enough about the process. Let's talk design. Mr. Kumar wanted open spaces, right? How did they make that happen?
So they started with the ground floor, the heart of the home. Picture this. Open plan living and dining area, flooded with light. Perfect for those big family gatherings Bangalore's known for.
Oh man, I can already smell the chime going. So they did custom furniture and all that to really personalize?
Oh yeah, definitely. They designed custom pieces to fit the space perfectly, plus they added a feature wall, some cozy window seating, those little touches.
See, those are the details that make a house a home.
Right.
But you can't forget about the kitchen. Was it one of those sleek galley kitchens? Did it have an island? How did they design such an important room?
They knew the kitchen had to be special. I mean, food and family are such a huge part of the culture. They went with sleek, modern appliances, integrated seamlessly, plenty of counter space.
Yeah.
Perfect for those big, elaborate Indian meals.
So we've got this amazing open kitchen and living space. But what about the bedrooms? How do you create that sense of privacy while still keeping things open and airy?
Right, because you need that separation too. So with the bedrooms, they're all on the first floor, and OnGrid designed each one like its own little retreat,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so each one is personalized, custom furniture, colors, all reflecting the person who uses it.
So they really took the time to understand each family member's style. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, and to keep that Bangalore vibe going, they extended the rooms outside, added balconies with amazing city views.
Oh, that's essential in Bangalore, right? That connection to the outdoors.
It's everything. It's part of what makes the city so special.
Okay, you're convincing me I need a balcony overlooking Bangalore now. But wait, didn't they also have that rooftop terrace?
Yes, they did. OnGrid really went all out on the second floor. They designed a whole wellness space with a state-of-the-art gym.
Great, a gym? No way. Mr. Kumar must have been pumped.
Oh, for sure. And it's not just any gym. It's got all the natural light you could want, plus those killer city views. They even added a cozy lounge area for, relaxing after a workout or just hanging out.
I bet the view from up there is incredible.
It's breathtaking. And they designed it to seamlessly blend the indoors and outdoors. Lots of natural elements, stone, wood, that kind of thing.
It's like bringing the outside in. Speaking of which, we've got to talk about the exterior of the house. How did they capture that Bangalore look from the outside?
All right, so this is one of my favorite parts. They used traditional terracotta jolly screens, but combined them with these modern glass elements.
Wow, that's a cool contrast.
Right, it's that perfect blend of old and new, just like Bangalore itself.
I love it. But For those of us who aren't design buffs, can you explain what jowl screens are?
Yeah, so basically they're these intricately carved panels, usually made of terracotta or stone. They've been used in Indian architecture for centuries.
Wow, centuries.
Yeah, they create these gorgeous patterns of light and shadow, plus they help with natural ventilation.
So they're beautiful and functional.
Exactly, they're perfect for Bangalore's climate. But incorporating them into a modern design, that's not easy. OnGrid had to make sure they were structurally sound, weatherproof, and that they worked aesthetically with those modern glass elements.
That does sound tricky. It's like blending two different worlds.
Totally. But they pulled it off, which just shows how much they know about both traditional craftsmanship and modern building techniques.
It makes you think, if they could do that with design, what else can we be blending in new and creative ways?
Right. It's inspiring.
It really is. But let's switch gears for a minute and talk sustainability. OnGrid is known for their commitment to eco-friendly design. And this project is a perfect example of that.
Absolutely. And it's not just a trend for them, it's a core value, especially in a city like Bangalore, which is growing so fast.
Right. You've got to be mindful of the environmental impact.
Exactly. So they used a ton of sustainable practices, starting with energy efficiency, energy-saving appliances, smart lighting, you name it.
Smart. That's got to save money on the electric bill, too.
For sure. But they went even further than that. They designed the house to maximize natural light and ventilation.
Which is perfect for Bangalore's climate.
Totally. They use the climate to their advantage, you know. Less reliance on air conditioning and artificial light. It's better for the environment and for your wallet.
It's a win-win. What other eco-friendly choices did they make?
Oh, let's see. They really focused on using recycled and locally sourced materials whenever they could. Plus, they even incorporated a rainwater harvesting system.
Wow, they really thought of everything. But I'm curious, the case study mentioned some challenges they faced along the way. What were those?
Sure. Well, one of the biggest ones was balancing that desire for open space with the need for functionality.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's easy to get carried away with the idea of an open floor plan, but then you need walls for storage and stuff like that.
Exactly. So they had to get creative with their space planning, using things like strategically placed walls, built-in storage, and multifunctional furniture.
So every inch of space serves a purpose.
Exactly. And of course, there's always the budget to consider.
Right, because sustainable materials and technology can be expensive.
You got it. But OnGrid, they're committed to making sustainable design accessible. So they worked closely with Mr. Kumar to find cost-effective solutions without compromising their eco-friendly values.
I love that. They found that balance. Okay, so they tackled the challenges, but at the end of the day, what mattered most was how the client felt about his new home. Right. So they tackled the challenges, but at the end of the day, what mattered most was how the client felt about his new home, right?
100%, yeah. And according to the case study, let's just say Mr. Kumar was blown away.
Okay, but what did he actually say? What were his favorite parts?
He was just over the moon about how they brought his vision to life, you know? But it was more than that. He really loved how collaborative they were throughout the whole process. Like, he really felt heard, which is so important for something as personal as designing your home.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than feeling like your ideas aren't being valued when it's something so close to your heart, you know?
Exactly. And that's where OnGrid really shines. They find that balance between their expertise and the client's vision. That's how they create a home that's not just beautiful, but meaningful to them.
It's like that secret sauce.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from those initial client interviews all the way to those amazing jolly screens, sustainable solutions, everything. But if you had to pick one big takeaway for our listeners, something they can apply to their own spaces, what would it be? Even if they aren't planning a full-on renovation like this.
You know, what really stuck with me was that seamless blend of tradition and modernity that OnGrid achieved. You know, it's like they weren't afraid to bring in those traditional elements like the jolly, even within that contemporary design.
Right, they weren't limited by those categories, traditional versus modern, they just went for it.
Exactly. And I think that's such a powerful message for all of us. Don't be afraid to infuse your spaces with elements that resonate with you, you know? Whether it's a certain architectural style, a locally sourced material, whatever speaks to your soul.
It's about telling your own story through your space. I'm feeling inspired to go add some of my own personality to my place. How about you?
Oh, for sure. It's been so fun digging